when you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call up my name.
Hi Ellsworth family, Corey Pearson here. Wanted to record you guys a message just to let you know how much I love you. Hard to believe that the 20th anniversary of Brian passing away is here. Feels like yesterday, also feels like a different lifetime. I wrote a short message because I wanted to record something, hopefully without crying the whole way through. And I knew I wouldn't be able to say what I wrote without that, so I hope you know how much I love you and how consistently throughout my life I've thought of Brian and tried to live my life in a way to honor his memory and, you know, hopefully be a good example for you guys to look at and think of how his life could have been as well. You know, getting married in the temple, being a missionary, starting a family, going to BYU. I've always tried to respect his memory, and I've always thought about, you know, am I making him proud? And I hope I have. And again, just want to let you guys know how much I love you and how I'd do anything for you guys. Hope to see you soon. And again, just want to let you know how much I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
This is a message from Corey Pearson. Dear Ellsworth family, I have a testimony that Brian lives and looks down on us and that we will see him again. On February 28, 2003, I was at a church activity for the night when we started to hear word of an accident. I heard Brian had potentially been involved and was very scared. In that moment, I left the church building and walked a short way down the street. I decided to kneel and pray, and I asked if my friend was okay. Still to this day, it was at that moment I received the strongest impression I ever have in my life of comfort and peace. I knew without a doubt that Brian was okay. The next morning when I heard news that he had passed away as a 14-year-old kid, I was very confused and upset that the feeling I received was incorrect. I came to understand, however, that the feeling and answer I received was true. Brian was and is okay. I am so excited for the day when we'll be reunited as friends, and I'm grateful to have been able to know him during his time here on earth. I love your entire family and I'm grateful for the friendship we've been able to have. I've consistently thought to myself at different stages of life, what would Brian be up to now? Or would Brian be proud of what I'm doing? Whether later on in high school, during my time at BYU, as a missionary, getting married and starting a family, I've always tried to live my life in honor of him. With love, Corey Pearson.
Lord, I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend, yeah.
Hi Ellsworth family, I am going to try to do this without crying. I've done several of these videos now and every time I seem to cry, so this one's, I'm not going to cry, I'll be good. But I hope you guys are well. I love just getting to see how your family is flourishing, all the grandbabies. It's awesome to see, and I'm happy I get to share a special memory of Brian on the 20th anniversary. I cannot believe it's been 20 years since we last spoke and talked to Brian. So let me get to it. I'm trying not to cry, so I'm gonna do my best. As you know, Brian was a huge part of my life in middle school and obviously freshman year. And one thing that really drew us together was basketball. We played basketball constantly in middle school, at recess, if you want to call it that. And he was always just such a competitive yet kind soul while we were playing basketball. And I was lucky most of the time I got to play on his team with him versus against him. And so I think our friendship really forms on the basketball court. And then one of the best memories I have of him, we were playing Pig, and we were playing at your house, I believe, or we were playing at Tanner's house, and then we walked up to your house. One of the two. Bobby and Brian both had lost, and so I got to put makeup on them. And rather than just like putting the makeup on and laughing and taking it off, Bobby and Brian like stayed in character with their makeup on, and we kept playing after. And so it was just such a funny memory, and to this day I laugh thinking about those two guys in full makeup just playing basketball with me. So I hope you guys get the day spent getting to hear some fun memories of Brian and just how much of an impact he left on so many people's lives. I can tell you personally, Brian is a huge part of my life still, and he is a part of obviously my son's life, with Brooks having his middle name. It's something we talk about. It's something we share with him, and share just the character of Brian, because I think that is what made Brian so special. Was he just was a kind person, and very caring of his friends and his family, and loyal. And so I just pray and hope that my son is like that. Dang it, I cried. But I just want you guys to know, like, he's still very much a part of our conversations as a family, and I just feel very blessed that I got to have him as a friend. So I'm gonna stop crying because we are celebrating Brian today, and I wish you guys nothing but the best, and that you get to laugh at a lot of these funny memories, and I'm sure you're gonna have some tears too, but just know that so many of us love you and think about Brian often. All right.
Hallelujah. Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Rebecca and Joe. It's Bobby, Riker, and Bryant. We want to call them, or just send a video letting you guys know how much we love you and appreciate you guys and all the support you've had with us through our lives. But we love you a lot. We're always thinking about you. It's crazy to think that 20 years is, on Tuesday. So I'll be thinking about you guys all day, as I do always. So I really appreciate you guys and love you, and I hope that Tuesday's a good day for you, and you guys are able to go visit the gravesite and all that. I'll be driving back from Crested View, but I'll make my time down there sometime this week too. So I love you guys again and your whole family. So I hope you guys are doing well. Let's get together soon. Love you. Bye.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when all I would do is forever worship you. I can only imagine.
I wish the heaven had visiting hours, so I could just show up and bring the news.
Hey, good to see you guys from afar, even though I can't see you. I know you're seeing me right now, so I want to say thank you for putting this together to the ladies. I'll keep it brief, but I think that everybody knows for me, Brian has had a significant impact on my life and the way I choose to live and lead by an example. Brian was an exemplary human being, and I was lucky in the brief time that I knew him to consider him a really good friend who I keep near and dear to my heart in many ways, and I know that he lives because his soul is forever here, because I'm reminded of it from time to time, and I've got a guardian angel on my shoulder. But just know, as your surrogate son, that I do my best to live an exemplary life as your son did, and I will always be appreciative of that. So that's my memory. And I love you guys, and forever and always. Mwah.
Failure, you'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been
Hi Mom and Dad, I just wanted to get on here and talk about some of my favorite memories with Brian. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I think, one thing that really stands out as a really good memory is when we went to Signal Mountain with the whole family, and Brian and Callie just really bonded. I loved the way he kind of mentored her, and how she just looked up to him so much and would follow him around, and how he would carry her, and just how sweet that little relationship was. I think it showed a lot of things about Brian's character, how he was just kind and patient. He really did enjoy young kids. He liked playing with them and joking around with them and teaching them things, and I think he did that with his siblings, and then also with his cousins, and then I really think with his friends too. So that's just one of my favorite memories, and I just want you to know how much we love you. It's really hard to believe that it's been 20 years since Brian passed, and it's unbelievable that we could do life for 20 years without him. I don't think there's ever been a day, a moment, a thing where we haven't just missed him desperately. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that we're thinking of you, and that we love you, and that we miss Brian.
Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby.
Hi, Joe and Rebecca. It's been a long time, and that I still think of Brian a lot. And you know how much he meant to me and my family, and sweetest memory I have of him. Oh my gosh, I have so many. But gosh, from going out and TPing houses to people TPing our house and having him sleep over at our house and playing games like Rummy Cube or trains until like 2 o'clock in the morning, and just everything, all the basketball and baseball games and everything. He was truly an amazing son for you guys, and but I just want to let you know that I will never forget him, and he has always been very, very much loved from me. So that's about it. Hi, so here is a second video, and the reason why I'm doing this is because last night around 9 o'clock p.m. I was listening to my Audible book. It's Death Row, and it's kind of a different book, but it's even based out of here in Colorado. And all of a sudden, they started talking about pennies from heaven and the old wise tale behind it. And it's so crazy because right then it just brought back that huge flashback. So the last time Brian was over at our house, I wasn't there, but Bobby and Brian decided to get out our, huge wine barrel glass jug of change that a lot of people keep their change in. And they took out all the pennies and they started, putting them on their fingers and learning how to flip them so they could go flying across the room. And I was like, oh my gosh, I came home and I was like, what is going on in here? Brian had already left, and Bobby's like, well, I'm just finishing cleaning up all the pennies. And I'm like, okay, make sure you get them all. And then, unfortunately, Brian had passed away. And for months later, I kept on finding pennies all over in the family room. And I did hold on to some of them. And every time I see a penny, I always think of Brian. And so I do believe in that wise tale. And especially after last night, even with the time reference and everything, I do believe that he is here with me. And it's not the only time I have felt his presence with me, but I was just almost unbelievable of what I felt. So I just thought I would share that with you. And I love you all very, very much. You are such a blessed family with such beautiful daughters and absolutely beautiful and handsome young grandsons and granddaughters. And I love you all so much.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill.
Hi, Joe and Rebecca. I wanted to send our love to you this week to take time out and remember your dear son, Brian, as it's been 20 years ago since he was taken from all of us. I can't imagine that, being without my son for 20 years. I want to tell you both how much I've learned from both of you, for your strength, your perseverance, your testimony of the Savior Jesus Christ, and in the knowledge that we have of having eternal life, and that we will see our loved ones again who have gone on before. My heart aches for both of you. I love you. I remember that time sometimes as if it were yesterday. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. All I can offer is my unwavering love and support of both of you and your family and say that the Pearson family loves you tremendously. We're so grateful to be friends with your family, and we know that we will be friends forever and forever. We love you. We will be thinking of Brian this week especially, and Steph and Linz and Brittany too. And we are so glad to know that loved ones are there with Brian, awaiting the day when someday we'll all be reunited together in God's kingdom. And we rejoice in the knowledge of this. I love you so much and can't wait to see you again soon. Love you so much.
Shape of my mom. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, you'll say hallelujah, you're home.
One memory I have of Brian is him getting ready in the mornings after we would do family scripture study, and he would get ready and play music. I remember that song, the "You don't miss your water till the well runs dry," and he would always sing along and comb his hair and put an immense amount of hairspray in, and his comb was like crusty with hairspray. And it's funny to see some of these pictures because you can totally tell he has like crusty hairspray hair, but I just remember him being so happy, and that was something that I also feel like I noticed in all of the pictures of Brian, is that he is just a happy person, and I felt like that happiness radiated to all those who was around him, and I just feel so blessed that I am his sister and that he was able to bring happiness into my life during his short stint on earth, but that he also has been able to bring happiness into my life even after he's been gone. And I always strive to be a happy person and bring love and happiness to those who are around me, just like Brian did. And I love him and miss him so much.
Where the moments of slow motion on the path, we are the crunching of the leaves inside, far away now, but in heart we're still so close.
Here is a message from Brandon Pickering. Hey Ellsworth family, I'm happy to get to write this, as it has allowed for me to stop in the midst of life craziness and put to thought some of my most special memories. I began this list one sleepless night. As I lay awake, it took me a few moments to find my first memory. The one that came to mind first was playing pickle in the living room hallway. From reenacting The Sandlot to playing Braves versus Orioles, we wore holes in our socks and sweatpants, sliding between bases, trying to be safe. What cool parents to let us crazy kids play pickle in the middle of the house like that. From there, my mind journeyed to other memories within our home. Your home. I remember the beanbags in the basement that we would sit on. I remember playing knee basketball on the mini hoop in the basement. I remember watching movies downstairs and also on the main floor, getting blankets out and having fun. I remember as we grew a bit older, hanging out in the study, making mixtapes / burning CDs of our favorite songs and music alongside instant messaging friends and girls on the computer through dial-up. I remember going outside and playing basketball for hours, rolling the hoop down to the street and switching between playing with the small ball versus a big ball. Of course, if Joe was around, we would play with a regular size ball, as the small ball wasn't good practice. I will say that Brian couldn't miss with that small ball though. He could go halfway down the cul-de-sac and chuck that ball and still swish the net. Even so, he was still better with the normal size ball. I remember him inviting us to play basketball in the church league. He only had one rule: we couldn't curse. I think I got in trouble a few times by Katie Delaney's dad for breaking that rule as he roughed the games. If I recall right, some of those games were played on carpet too. I remember the last time I saw Brian. It was in the school's long entry hallway at Chatfield after school before the basketball games. He was coming back into the school as I was walking out. I remember locking eyes and saying, "What up?" as I lay in bed remembering and brought to my emotions. Tears of remembrance. Tears I haven't let myself feel for quite a while. Happy tears, but also sad tears, but all from remembering. We will always remember, always. I love you and your family, and our family sends their love. We love you all. Pics.
Inside, I live inside you. Yes, we live and we die. It's a circle of life. We're still with you inside.
All of my memories with Brian are happy memories. Even if I was throwing a remote control at his head or fighting with him, wrestling with him, all of my memories are happy. I really enjoyed my time with him. He was an incredible person. He was so talented, athletic, smart, kind, selfless, funny. He was just a great person. Mom and Dad, you guys raised an incredible boy. Some of my fondest memories are playing video games with him, like Sega Genesis, Sonic, computer games like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I thought that was the coolest. I loved watching Saturday morning cartoons with a bowl of cereal in the family room with him, and going to all of our swim practices every day in the summer together. I really enjoyed having him cheer me on in any of my swim races. I was really proud to have him there with me, and I loved cheering him on. He always won every race he ever had. I also really enjoyed having a little secret with him, which is, him driving my car to swim practices and letting him drive it around the neighborhood and going in the school parking lot and driving it. It was just kind of fun to have this little secret between us. It was just our little thing. And he did a really good job. I also really enjoyed going to Chatfield with him at the same time, and us having like our spot that we would always meet up together every single day, and we'd give each other a fist pump or a high five and be like, "Hey, you." And it was just kind of a highlight of my day. I really enjoyed that he was not embarrassed by me, brother-sister rivalries or anything like that. Like, he was always just so supportive. I can't believe it's been 20 years. Sometimes it feels like it was yesterday. Sometimes it feels like it was a lifetime ago. And I just am so grateful to have these memories still of Brian that I can cherish forever. And Mom and Dad, I want you guys to have all these memories all in one place that you can watch and access at any time. And just know that there were so many people that loved him. That incredible person that you raised, you got to share him with the world. And he touched all of those wonderful people's lives as well. And he changed their lives. So I am so proud of you guys for how you've handled it and how you've lived your life. I can't imagine what it's like to lose a child. But I think that you guys have done a tremendous job by keeping the positive light on everything and remembering him no matter what. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything.
I haven't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you always do what's right. And we just took a while until my worries disappear. I'll tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been wish that heaven had visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own. I will close the door, but I will open up my heart, and everyone I love will know exactly who you are.